Have you ever wondered, can you actually teach kindness? Or is it just something you're born with? Well, today, we're going to crack that case. We're diving into this incredible lesson plan that turns regular kids into the kindness detectives.
And this right here, this is the whole idea behind the mission. It's not about trying to force something new onto kids. No, it's about helping them find and unlock this incredible power they already have inside.
So listen up. If you're a teacher, a parent, or hey, even if you just believe in the power of kindness, you're gonna want to pay attention. We're going inside the classroom, and class is officially in session. All right, Part 1, Becoming Kindness Detectives. Every great adventure starts with a mission briefing, right? And that's exactly where this lesson begins. We're not just talking at kids here, we're inviting them to investigate. And you know, framing it as a mission is just brilliant. It gives them a purpose, an exciting goal from the get-go. And here it is. This is the big question, the hook that pulls everyone in. The mission isn't just about learning definitions from a book. No, it's about going out and finding where kindness is needed. This one question changes everything. Suddenly, students aren't just sitting there listening. They're active detectives on a case they can actually solve. Okay, Part 2, Learning to Read the Clues. Because every detective worth their salt knows you have to find the evidence first, right? And in this case, the clues are all around us, hiding in plain sight. We're talking about decoding faces and body language. This is where the real training begins.
We start with the basics. Clue number 1, the happy face. But it's more than just look for a smile. The lesson gets specific. Look for a smiling mouth and bright eyes. See? It's teaching kids to look deeper, to really see what's going on with the people around them.
Next up in the detective's manual, the sad face. We're looking for a frowning mouth, maybe some teary eyes. These are the classic signs, the kind of clue a sharp detective can spot even from way across the playground.
All right, now things get a little trickier. Clue number 3 is the angry face. The clues here can be subtle, right? We're talking about angry eyebrows and a tight mouth. This is so important because it teaches kids that even someone who's really quiet might be feeling something really big inside.
And the last facial clue is surprise. This one's usually a bit more obvious, the wide eyes, the open mouth. But what this whole checklist does is pretty amazing. It takes these big, confusing things we call emotions and turns them into actual observable clues. It makes them something a detective can work with.
But wait, there's more. A truly great detective knows you can't just look at the face. So once we've mastered facial expressions, the investigation gets bigger. We start looking at a whole new set of clues because our bodies tell a story too.
And look how simple and clear this is. You see someone with slumped shoulders, they might be feeling sad or tired. Someone's jumping up and down, probably excited or happy. It's just a fantastic way to teach kids that our bodies are always talking, even when we're not saying a word. Okay, Part 3. A walk in their shoes. So our detectives, they've gathered all these clues, from faces, from bodies, so what's next? Well, now it's time to unlock the most important tool in their entire kit. This is the super skill that cracks the whole case wide open: empathy.
I love how simple this definition is. It's not some big, complicated psychological term. It's an action. It's about trying to imagine what someone else is going through. And that little shift is huge. It frames empathy not as just a feeling, but as something you choose to do, a skill you can actually get better at. And that right there is the key.
So how do you practice this new superpower? With a toolkit, of course. These 4 questions are basically the heart of the whole investigation. They take a student from just seeing a sad face to really thinking, what's going on inside their head? And it all leads to that final, most important question: what can I do to help?
All right, Part 4, the secret kindness mission. The training montage is over. Our detectives have their skills, they've got their empathy toolkit. Now it's time to leave the training ground and head out into the real world.
And this is what makes this whole thing so good. It's not just telling kids, hey, go be nice. It's a real step-by-step mission plan. It empowers them to identify someone, figure out what they might be feeling, plan what to do, and then, and this is great, report back on what happened, just like a real detective. And to warm them up, they get these awesome case files. And they're not some weird, abstract situations. They're totally real things that happen in school every day. A teacher drops her papers, she's probably feeling embarrassed. The janitor is cleaning a huge spill. He's got to be tired. A kid sitting all by himself, he's probably lonely. This is where it all comes together. Seeing the clue, feeling the empathy and figuring out the kind action. It just clicks.
So now we get to part 5, the kindness ripple effect. The secret missions are happening, kindness is spreading, but the lesson isn't over yet, not by a long shot. Because the final, and maybe the most powerful part, is understanding what happens next, the ripple effect.
And this is the big takeaway. This is the why. Every single one of those small secret missions, it connects back to the whole school. The goal isn't just to cheer up one person. It's about changing the entire feeling, the entire culture of the place, one kind act at a time. And finally, to really make it stick, there's reflection. The lesson asks students to think about how it feels when they show kindness and how it feels when someone is kind to them. By looking at it from both sides, it builds this real, deep-down reason to keep being a kindness detective long after the lesson is over.
You know, this whole mission, it's not just for kids in a classroom. It's for all of us, right? So as you go about your week, keep your eyes open. Look for the clues. Use that empathy toolkit. Because really, the only question left is, what kindness mystery could you solve this week?